Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler, and this is probably a great time for us to get together, but I've just got to check this text. I just got. It says that the Packers have named LeRoy Butler their new head coach for next year.
Did you get that text from me?
Yeah, I did. It was from your agent.
I would think that some people, a portion of the people, fans, Tom, are either relieved or they knew it was going to happen. They just didn't know when. And this is probably one of the most embarrassing losses, not the most hurtful loss. I think you can put that in the 4th and 26s.
Yeah,
and
the Seattle loss.
The Seattle loss.
Yep.
You could throw all that together, but this a team that was 2-9 coming in. You would think that, and plus you were undefeated at home.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers was like 16-1 or something in December or something like that. The weather was bad. You got an indoor team, a warm weather team, everything check mark. You would think that you can just blow them out.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well, this was really somewhat shocking to me today at the news conference with Mark Murphy.
Yes.
He basically said that game was the reason that he fired him. Now, things had been building up, but he called it an unsatisfactory performance, and both he and Gutekunst decided they're not going to wait any longer. I think if they would have won out, they would have had a hard decision to make on McCarthy.
Yeah.
But can you believe that it came down to one game, one performance?
You know, the Packers normally don't knee jerk like this.
Yeah,
This is Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns do this. Other teams do this. You don't necessarily see this, so this is shocking. Because you would think that in most companies, you would think that a guy that, if he made a lot of money for the company for 13 years and say his numbers are down, you don't walk down the hall and fire the guy because his numbers are down.
Right.
You try to let him finish out his contract, which was a month, 4 games, and then amicably separate and part. That's normally how big companies do it, but the Green Bay Packers are doing things different now. And I think that I always thought this in the back of my mind. That's why you hire Philbin and Pettit, 2 coaches with head coach experience as your coordinators, just in case something doesn't go right.
Kind of tells you he's on watch there. He's
Yes.
You know.
Yes, kind of on
We'll
the
be
job
looking at
training. Let's see.
Even though they were his hires, I think they approved it because they liked that idea.
Yes.
It's no secret you have been a Mike McCarthy fan.
Yes. Yes.
Is there such thing as running out? You know, your tank running empty. It's time to move on. You've run your course. Is there such thing? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they could have did that in They could have did it in January, February. They don't extend him. Let Gutekunst hire his guy. Don't sign Aaron to the extension. Don't do no major decisions until you get the front office set and the coaching set. But when you go through the whole offseason and you sign Aaron to the deal as if everything is going to be fine, and then it goes a little sideways, and then you bail. To me, it's kind of a head scratcher. He's made it this far. What's the hurry?
Did Rodgers' contract embolden him to take over the team, to be more willing to show displeasure?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Get his way.
That's a great question. But as the leader, he was doing this before the contract, but it just seemed like to me it was just subtle things that not just Aaron Rodgers was saying, Tramon Williams and Randall Cobb, guys were just saying things that they weren't happy. It wasn't any fun. And I think as Murphy hearing that and then losing the way you lost, but again, McCarthy didn't drop an interception.
McCarthy didn't throw balls into the dirt.
Right. He didn't do that.
Miss Randall Cobb and
Yes.
Devontae Adams for touchdowns.
Right.
How do you explain that? I mean, how do you explain that Aaron Rodgers misses throws like that? Average person looking at it's got to think, oh, he just wants McCarthy fired.
I know, it makes you think silly stuff like that. It does. It makes you play the X-File music in the background and come up with conspiracy theories. Because if you throw the ball 50 passes, Aaron Rodgers, of the old Aaron Rodgers, 50 passes, you're going to score 50 points, you would think. 17 points. You know, Josh Rosen, as a rookie, just beat Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's the kind of stuff people say, well, maybe Aaron Rodgers. And stay tuned for X's and O's. We talk about the mechanics of him throwing the football to a wide-open Randall Cobb. And to his credit, he said it was my bad, but make that throw in the past with his eyes closed. But now he's been putting up numbers that are compatible with, Kirk Cousins and some of these other receivers. But he's going to say the 20-some touchdowns and 1 interception.
In no unbizarro world does Aaron Rodgers lose to Josh Rosen at home in 40-degree weather.
Right.
Unless they're switched teams, unless Rodgers is playing for Arizona and Rosen's playing for Green Bay. It just shouldn't happen.
I agree. Arizona played an inspiring game. They were 30th against the run. Aaron Jones was just disappeared. I thought he was hurt. He wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
So him and I think Jamal Williams had equal playing time. And
I think Aaron Jones messed up some pass blocking, and they lost their confidence in him being able to pass because they got stuck with passing the whole game.
Yeah, that's
50
true.
attempts,
Yes.
So I don't know. But the last thing on Rodgers, how much do you think he gets to have a say in the new coach?
None. You have to hire and fire who Murphy and Gutekunst deem fit for the roster. You can't have players picking coaches. In that case, I would have loved to pick my coaches my whole career. I don't get a say in that. And then you have to find out what system that best fits him through conversations with him. So if that's the input, great. But he shouldn't have an input on who you bring in here. Because I think that sets a bad precedent.
Someone brought up at the press conference the fact that the Bucs coach was met with Giannis before he was hired, just to see if they got along. Would you do that with the head coach at Rodgers?
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that.
I agree. I wouldn't do it
I would never
either.
do that. I mean, you have to hire a guy to win for everybody, not just Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I know he's a big part of it. And I think Aaron has said that, hey, he's just a football player. He doesn't want to be involved in stuff like that. But I think behind the scenes, he wants to be involved to say, if you bring a certain type of offense in. But if you're all pro and you're a Hall of Famer, any offense will work. I'm just that good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that anymore.
You shouldn't care what
kind
of
doesn't
offense
matter.
it is.
It does not matter.
One thing I thought was just to bring out what he said today, which was that this all came out of the media, that he's surprised to see all the bad things that were said about the relationship he had with McCarthy. I think the body language said a lot about it. The performance said a lot about it. But now that it's over, if he did want a new coach, he's going to have to wait for them to win, don't you think? They're not going to turn it around and win a Super Bowl next year, are they, with a new head coach?
Well, that's the thing. If you go back to the 90s, Tom, 3 teams dominated the 90s going into the 2000s.
Right.
Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco, and Green Bay. Now, San Francisco went through it, a whole new rebuild, and they're still going through it. Mm-hmm. Dallas went through it. They have not won a lot. They haven't won a playoff game in a long time. Green Bay has not had to go through that. Mm-hmm. 8 straight years in the playoff. Last year missed it, and missed it this year. Mathematically, you still have a glimmer of hope. But this is all new territory. You don't know which direction you're going to go.
Yeah.
So you're just hoping with Aaron Rodgers is going to be positive. But I don't know if you can say that anymore. Because every time you mention something about Aaron Rodgers, the apologists will say, you got to get him talent around him. Hey, listen, Tom Brady has had 45 to 50 million guys around him. He just plays.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm sure he wants more talent as well. And they go out and went out and got Josh Gordon for him. So if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're thinking, okay, well, get me some help. Go out and get, you should have signed Khalil Mack. Maybe this would be different.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if the safety, is that name Pleasant?
Mm-hmm.
If he intercepts that pass and scores, Mike McCarthy is still here.
It's a different game, yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers hit Cobb and it's to the 25, and Mason Crosby makes the field goal and they win in overtime, he's still here. If that's the case,
if the nuts, candy
game,
and butts would be.
I know, but if that's the case, you fired him because of this game.
Yeah.
I say keep him because it was on the players to make those plays. You just signed a guy on Tuesday, and you that arrogant, you're going to fire me, and the talent that I have is close to a JV team.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fair to McCarthy. With all these injuries, you still want him to beat a terrible team like Arizona, and they should have won.
All right, let's look ahead. Now, how ironic would it be if Gutekunst, with 2 first-round draft picks, one that's going to be late in the draft because it's New Orleans,
Yep.
all of a sudden there's a quarterback sitting there, that, hey, maybe we'll do an Aaron Rodgers and we'll draft him. And then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is under the clock. I mean, that's
the same way like him and Brett Favre.
Yeah, he's getting farved, is what I would call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the kind of thing, when you're Rodgers, you have to think about when anytime there's change, and that it's going to take time. But let's look forward, and if you were Murphy, first of all, let's talk about the structure. Mark Murphy is going to make the final call on this.
Yep.
Brian Gutekunst is going to do a lot of the legwork, advise, but Murphy wants to make the call. Why, and is that a good idea?
Well, I think it's a great idea because I don't mind a guy who is running the entire organization making that call. That way, if it doesn't work, he's on the line, okay? Then maybe the board will replace Murphy. I don't mind that at all. I really don't. Now, as far as picking players, that's fine for Gutekunst to get sole control over that. But if it comes to head coach, now he said Gutekunst will have a say in it, but he'll make the final decision. I have no problem with that. And I think, and it was all discussed up front with Gutekunst before he took the job, this is how we're going to have it.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? He could have said, no, I want to go back and run my entire team. So, and I know a lot of people got a lot of problems with that. Murphy should be like an owner, and he should just disappear and let everything, and that's how it's always been. But they had that with Ted Thompson, and it didn't work. So they want to try it this way to see if it works.
Yeah, I don't know if it didn't work. They won a Super Bowl with
Absolutely.
it. They went to the playoffs.
And he hired a good guy, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, at the end, it fizzled, but that's what happens. And so I don't know that the structure was the problem. That's my opinion.
Well, I know, sell me on him getting out of the way and making it Gutekunst when Gutekunst hasn't done it.
Give me the guy who is in the football business, who goes on the road scouting and talks to college coaches, talks to other scouts, talks to coaches, NFL people, knows NFL people.
Yep.
Give me that guy to make the decision. Plus, Gutekunst, it's just better to have those two on the same page. And what if Gutekunst, this guy is his second choice that Murphy takes?
Right.
I don't know.
You could be creating a problem there. You could. And I'm good either way, but I think I'm better than knowing that you have skin in the game when you have the boss involved.
Yeah.
And
okay.
A guy to be so power hungry, one GM just can do anything he wants, go rogue if he wants.
Yeah.
But quick question: did Russ Ball play a role in this, or he was just kind of out of the loop?
Not that I know of. He might have played a little bit of advisory, but I think Gutekunst was the main advisor.
Okay.
He evaluated how they were playing on the field. I think both
that was
of them
obvious.
did. Yeah.
And it was a painful loss, But we're not used to seeing this. You know, other than the Bulls getting rid of their coach, you're going to be lumped in with Cleveland, who got rid of their coach, and that was warranted. But again, it's a different time now.
All right, so let's look ahead again. If you're Mark Murphy, do you follow the trend of picking an offensive guy? So since Forrest Gregg in the mid-'80s, Lindy Infante, Mike Holmgren, Ray Rhodes for 1 year, the only defensive guy, Mike Sherman, Mike McCarthy. Do you hire another offensive guy?
It's two scenarios. I would hire a defensive guy to get the defense straight. And I would hire an offensive coordinator, but it would be a veteran, sort of a Norv Turner type, because he's in Carolina. Just somebody who can oversee the offense and not let.
You don't want one of those 35-year-old wonderkins like Sean McVay.
I'm gonna get to that, but
okay.
And I gotta. So that's one way. Now to your way, a new the Lincoln Riley types.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his name in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The younger guy. I don't know if Aaron will listen to a guy that he's the same age as.
Yeah.
How can you tell me something that I already know and I'm a Hall of Famer?
That's a good point.
I don't know if he would respect a guy like that.
I don't know if he would.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would. He said today he would. He'd have no problem with it.
Well, we all going to say that.
But, yeah, that's in front of his locker, 30 guys.
If that guy, somebody said Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh will come in and run Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams 35 times a game.
Yeah.
Aaron is not going to be happy with that.
I assure you he doesn't want Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, or Josh McDaniel.
Okay.
As good as Josh McDaniel is, he doesn't mess around. You've seen Brady scream at him because he's stubborn.
Yes.
You know, he's going to do it his way.
Yeah.
And Rodgers might not get the same kind of authority he has now, right?
And that may be a good way to hire somebody like that to keep control.
Maybe.
You need somebody with control.
Could you hire?
I would look at Joe Lombardi as well. I like the pedigree of him. Or even Eric Bieniemy up in Kansas City.
Right. Well, there's a lot of guys. There's a young guy in L.A., Zach Taylor, who's an up-and-coming guy. There's John DeFilippo with the 49er. Vikings.
Yep.
Brian Dable with Buffalo. So there's a lot of those guys. But maybe with Rodgers having only 4 or 5 years left, you want to go defense. Do you really want to become a defensive powerhouse? The Vikings, that's what the Vikings are. That's what the Bears are right now.
That's a great point.
Would you want that?
I would definitely love that because the defense, to me, I think play good enough for you to be in the playoff hunt. But if you brought up a defensive mind in here to just concentrate on fixing the defense and making them a top 10 defense, you would think that you can get an offensive coordinator that can get Aaron in that running game, you know, in a way that they can score 30 points a game.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I would be very intrigued by. And I don't know who that guy is, but I would definitely take a look at, the defensive coordinator, in places that play good defense.
Yeah.
Because you got to do that.
You watch a lot of college football. Would you hire a college football coach?
Absolutely. I like the structure of a college football coach because he has to recruit, he has to adapt to personalities, and he has to oversee things. When you're in the pros, you just have to manage. When you're in you got to know all these rules and stuff like that. College coaches are very astute and they're energized. And that may be what they need.
Their track record isn't very good.
Not at all.
Chip Kelly, Doug Marrone, there's probably 10 others I'm not remembering.
Yeah,
but
and right. You're right about it. And history shows they don't work out. You know, if you look at, the Sabins, they go to Miami and not real good, come back to college and you win every year.
Exactly.
Nick Saban. So, I don't know if Harbaugh even would be interested. He's making $7.5 million. Why would he leave that to come here? And I don't think the Packers are going to give nobody the John Gruden contract.
No, and remember, some of these big-time guys are going to come in and say, I want full control.
Yes.
And right now you said no. Brian Gutekunst has control.
Urban Meyer will want full control.
Right.
Right.
Lincoln
So why would he
Riley
do
might
that?
too.
He might.
He could demand that too.
Yes. And you're not going to fire Gutekunst. No, he'd have to come in and just be head coach. Now, you could make him head coach vice president to pay him more money to sit in on those meetings.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't have a lot of say-so.
Yeah, I just think their search is a little bit limited because that Brian Gutekunst is the GM, and that coach is going to have to accept that he can't pick his own players. That Gutekunst is going to pick, and that might some veteran guys. John Gruden has total control. You may call Reggie the GM, but he has total control of that team.
Yeah.
And, Bill Belichick has total control of the team. There's all kinds of examples of that. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it was my fault. I forgot to turn my prediction in to Bill because I had to go to the bathroom. So we're going to do it live, okay?
Okay. Playing the Atlanta Falcons
which
this
is
week.
Another bad team.
Yeah, this is
overachieved for a while. Now they're underachieving. Went to the Super Bowl a year ago. I mean, and you would think they got all these weapons. Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver, Julio Jones. We know what he's done.
Well, their defense is decimated by injury.
Oh my! It's just so much going on there, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So you got to think that you'll get the new bump of the new coach.
Yeah.
And Bill, I think that the Packers will win 28-17, and the weather will be all bad, hopefully. But it was bad last week. So I say 28-17. And, man, Bill is so good. He put that up as soon as I said it. I love this guy. I think if I ever get rich, I'm going to hire him to be something for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
All right.
But do you agree with that, or do you think Atlanta would?
I don't know. I'm conflicted. It can go either way. Sometimes those interim coaches, the players just go crazy and they play their hearts out for them. Yeah. And other times they've got their bags packed and they're going home.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm really conflicted.
Well, I'll put it out there and say they'll win 28-17.
All right.
But stay tuned for X's and O's because we're going to show you, because some people want to know why they lost this game, and we're going to show.
There's so many reasons, but we tried to pick the two best.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, and don't forget to check in on
one more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, one more thing. This was sponsored by Cops and Kids. You can go to copsandkids.com. It's for literacy for kids, and police come together with the community to help kid literacy. I'm kind of their spokesperson now, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.